Hello class, welcome to lesson 10 where we are going to be looking at inequality statements. Hopefully you remember what inequality statements are. You've seen them for probably the last 3 years in school. I know definitely we've seen them in this class a lot on our Wednesday worksheets, but we're going to take a closer look at them today, especially how they relate to integers and rational numbers on a number line. So we'll go ahead and zoom into the first half here and let you copy it. Alright, now let's zoom into the bottom half, and you can copy that much. Alrighty, now let's take a look at the question here for lesson number 10. It's asking us, how can inequalities be used to help order rational numbers and integers? If you remember back to the last lesson we did yesterday, we looked at how to order integers and rational numbers from least to greatest. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to do that same thing, put numbers in order, but instead of using commas, we are going to be using inequality symbols. The two most common inequality symbols that we'll be using are written right here in the remember section. All right? It says remember, less than is written by this symbol. Greater than is written with this symbol. Okay, so you were probably taught when you were younger that it's like a mouth and it opens up facing the bigger number because it wants to eat it, right? So here's some teeth. Rawr, hungry, hungry, rawr, hungry, hungry. Cool? So that's true, right? It always faces the bigger number. However, the harder thing to remember that we usually, if we slip up with anything, this is the thing we slip up with. It's what these symbols are called, how we name them, right? So I'm going to try and once and for all clear up that confusion in your mind right now. Okay, I'm going to swing over here to the side and we're going to take a look at an example. Okay, so we've got the less than sign, right, which is this. This is less than, right? And this is greater than. Okay? Now, as we move forward, it will be very helpful for you to remember what these symbols are called without even having to look at the numbers that are around them. So every time you see one of these symbols, there is always the first number that comes before it, and then the second number that comes after it, right? The symbol in between demonstrates the relationship between the first and the second, all right? But the big thing is you're starting with the first. So your symbol that's in between references this first line first. Okay, so whatever this number is, let's doesn't matter, pick a number, let's say 13. All right, so if our first number is 13 and we have the less than symbol, it means that our first number, which is 13, has to be less than our second number, all right? We always read first to second. We always read from the left side to the right side, even if these were just words in a sentence. We would start at the left, right here, and then we would work our way to the right here. Okay, so 13 is less than 20. Okay, now using the same concept, let's come over here to the greater than sign. Yet again, always, 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 this is going to be surrounded by two numbers. We've got our first number and our second number. Right? The symbol in the middle refers to the relationship between the first, then refers to the second. Okay? So if we take that same example of 13, 13 is greater than, because this symbol is greater than, so we start at the first side, and then we make our way over here, is greater than, has to be a number that's smaller than 13, so let's say 13 is greater than 8. Okay, so it always references whatever is on the left and then works its way over to the right, just like it were a sentence. If you were to start reading a sentence, we can go ahead and clear this stuff. If the sentence said, Beth jumps high. Okay? Beth is where we start, right? This is our first thing we read. This refers to the second thing. It speaks to the relationship, right? So we read this first, jumps high. Okay? You start at the left, work your way to your right. All right, now if I haven't sufficiently confused you at this point, then you're in good shape, because I know that was a lot. And you're saying, this is an English class, but I really, really, really need you to get to know what this symbol is and this symbol. Be able to recognize less than and greater than automatically. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on, because I know you're probably tired of hearing that at this point. So, in order to answer the question, how can inequalities be used to order rational numbers and integers? We have to perform this task. Place these symbols between rational numbers, and when it says these symbols, it's referring to less than and greater than, between rational numbers when listing them to make statements true. So in these examples, we're not going to use commas to put them in order. We're going to use inequality symbols. So first off, our example is this right here, example number 1. Let's go ahead and read it. 8 less than 9 less than 10. Is this statement true? We start all the way to the left. Let's read this first, right? 8 is less than 9. Okay, so 9 will be second. And this 9 here is less than 10. And 10 is our third number, and it's our last. It's all the way at the end. So is this statement true? Is 8 less than 9? Yes. And then, is 9 less than 10? Yes, that's true. So this is a correct statement. Okay? Scroll down here to example number 2. We're going to put them in a different order now. This is going to be a little bit trickier because it's not in order from least to greatest. Let's take a look. It says example number 2. 6.5 greater than 4 less than 5. Okay, so we're kind of thinking of this as two separate inequalities, but then we'll put them together at the end. So first off, you see 6.5 is greater than 4. Just looking at this, if we just look here, is this statement true? 6.5 is greater than 4. Yes, that statement is true if we're just looking at that right there. Okay, and if we get rid of these brackets here, let's come over to the other side. Here we have a totally new one. Okay, 4 is less than 5. Is that true? Is 4 less than 5? Yes. Okay, we have that written down below. 4 is less than 5 down here. All right. Now we can zoom back out. Whoops. Zoom back out and look at all three of these together. And is this statement true? Remember, starting on the left, read this first. Is 6.5 greater than 4? Yes. All right. Now, looking here, is 4 less than 5? Yes. So, both of these statements are true. All right? And we will practice this a bunch, because I know that we are used to using commas. It's what we've been doing probably since we started ever putting anything in order, at least in math class. And it's going to be hard to break that habit, but I promise after a day or two of doing this, it'll become second nature to you. So hopefully we can answer this question. How can inequalities be used to order rational numbers and integers? Thanks. That's all we've got. Have a great night. Bye.